It's Italia, your lifestyle blogger friend with the T. Today we're going to be talking about social media platforms. I'm going to go ahead and get my slides here. Let's see. So I switched up the colors, so hope it's... So what we're going to be talking about is what social media platforms should you be on or should you be using to grow your business. So what sparked this conversation really was I have a friend who actually does, she sells things, and she was wondering like what is her main platform for her to be able to use. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the question I always ask is, what do you do on Instagram? So I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes for y'all to answer that. Hello. So I'm asking, what do you do on Instagram? And we're gonna go ahead and just start talking about social platforms. So the first social platform that I want to talk to you about is Instagram, because we are on Instagram. And with Instagram, it is a visual platform. I looked up a bunch of information, and basically the population is younger than 34%. Over half of the platform is younger than 34, and it is used by mobile, so it's easily accessed, so whoever you want to reach can easily access the app. The average user spends about 53 minutes on the app, which I think in comparison to Facebook was it was like minutes apart. So no, actually Facebook is used more than Instagram is used. So this is just for us to get kind of a feel of like your platform, what platforms you should be on. I personally believe that you should be on as many platforms as you can handle, but in the way of repurposing your content in order for you to reach more people. So Facebook has a larger reach. It's people that you already know. So if you are doing like an MLM, or even if you have like a blog, I remember last year when I started my blog, all I did was post on my Facebook page, and I ended up having 1,000 visitors on my first month on my blog, because those people know you and they like you and they trust you already. So therefore, that is a great platform to be on. The average age on Facebook is 40 and a half years old. And I put the ages on there just to kind of get a grasp on stuff, because I feel like, in general, yes, age is just a number. But let's say you're somebody that has that wants to talk about relationships. Someone who is 18 isn't going to want to talk the same way that someone who is 35. So just put that in perspective. So today we're talking about the social media platforms that you should be using. And I always ask, what do you do on Instagram? So go ahead and put a comment there and let me know what you do on Instagram. So when I give examples, I can give examples specific to you. I talked about Instagram, we talked about Facebook, and then now we're going to talk about Pinterest. So Pinterest is something that you can use to repurpose your content. I'm trying to get a handle on Pinterest, especially with my blog, just trying to get a grasp on all things Pinterest. But it's not a platform, it is a search engine. There's traffic, pins, views, items on Pinterest. Like, it can be kind of like wavy, but you're able to reach more people because it's based on SEO. And your keywords and all of that. But what really stood out to me was 87%. This is from, I think it was like from ProReb, but it's 87% of users that use Pinterest have said that they have purchased something because they saw it on Pinterest. So that is something to definitely keep in mind when you are creating your content, is to repurpose things to other platforms. Hey, Ashley. So for all of you who are just arriving, we're talking about social media platforms and what platforms you should use. Right now, I'm just talking about the basics of each platform, but we're going to go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. So Instagram's very visual. Instagram's visual platform, younger-ish crowd. And the thing about it that you want to keep in mind is all of these platforms are going to take you time. So if you're looking for a fast way, there's no fast way. You're going to have to just put in the work for whatever platform it is that you decided that you want to use. If you want to use multiple platforms, go ahead and do that. I am on Instagram. I do put stuff on Facebook. I've seen like a lot of Facebook ads. The research that I found said that the Facebook ads were the best way. So if you're doing like business coaching, or if you're in that kind of realm, that ads might be a way for you. But I think there's always levels to it. Like, you don't want to just start out putting ads out there. So make sure you're taking care, like talk to a professional when it comes to that. But and then we talked a little about Pinterest, and that's something that you can use to repurpose your content. Even here on Instagram, all of your content can literally be one click and shared to Pinterest. So that's something to keep in mind. And one thing that I did say that stuck out to me is that 87% of users said that they purchased something because of someone from Pinterest. And it has been said that there's 300 million people that are on Pinterest. So 87%, that's a pretty huge amount. And then YouTube. So YouTube actually has twice as many users than Instagram. And the thing about YouTube is that YouTube is owned by Google, so you have SEO perks. And if you notice, anytime you type in video, of course a YouTube video comes up. So if you're like in the food, or even honestly, like I could take this and put it on YouTube too. So you want to make sure like you're repurposing if you're going to use other platforms. You don't have to do twice the work, but it's just a matter of repurposing your content in order to reach a different crowd. And so the video, so obviously we all know that video is known to produce more conversion than, I'm like looking, I can't spell, y'all. I put conversion, but it's conversion. YouTube is known to produce more conversion than the video in general is known to produce more conversion than a stagnant picture. So that's kind of the thing that kind of will bring you or yield you to use YouTube. And as always, all of the platforms can be repurposed. So anything that you make on Instagram can be repurposed. As I was saying before, like this video, I can repurpose it, put it on Pinterest, I can repurpose it, put it on YouTube, I can share it to my Facebook, I can even copy and paste it and put it on my blog. So it's just a matter of like repurposing and not making the work harder, work smarter, not harder. And so if y'all have any questions, put questions. I'm not an expert on YouTube. I can lead you to people who are experts on YouTube for sure. So I do want to know, like, what platforms do you use? So if you just put in the comments, let me know what platforms you use. Hey, Lindsay. Here. So while you're letting me know what platforms you use, I just want to talk a little bit about repurposing content. I know I'm maybe I have a video, I might not have a video, but the thing about, like, even today I changed my wording. Oh, that's a good question. Today I changed my wording because it stood out more on Pinterest. So that, therefore, I won't have to redo anything ever again. Like, I won't have to do it over. Okay. So here are the questions. Let's see. Okay. Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, kind of. Oh, yes. And TikTok. I didn't put TikTok on there. But yes, TikTok. I am on TikTok. And you can repurpose your Instagram Reels to TikTok. But Instagram did announce that they are no longer going to be pushing the videos that have the TikTok wording on there. But there's obviously multiple apps that you can use to get yourself take the TikTok logo off there for you. Starting a blog, yes. So I personally believe that like having something of your own. So for me, I have my blog and I have my email list. If you don't have an email list, you should start off with an email list because I feel like it's the most important thing ever. A blog is a lot of work. Actually, all of it's a lot of work. Even if you're on Instagram, like to think like preparing for this live, like you go through so many stages of like, okay, like now I've got to look this up. I'm going to research. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's all going to be a lot of work. But we got to focus on making the work a little bit easier by like repurposing your content. So yeah, it definitely is a lot of work, but repurposing helps a lot. Let's see. Hello. Okay. IG is my top, then Facebook, started to use TikTok and Pinterest. Yes. So I use all of those. Yeah. I'm like, wait, can't read. Insta and blog are my main, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, sort of. Yeah. I'm like a show up. Yes, girl. Yes, email is definitely there. If you need email, I do have a blog post about emails and how to get started and how to grow your email list. It's in my bio if you just go to my blog. I think it's one of the top blog posts. But yes, email definitely is. You want to make sure that you have something of your own and not too much focus on other things. Like the thing about it is like literally the negatives of most of the platforms are, since I've gone over the positives, I'll go over the cons of it all. So when it comes to Instagram, the con is your followers are a metric, but your followers do not yield engagement. So just because like I have 6,000 followers does not mean that I have 6,000 people that see my content. So keeping that in mind when it comes to Instagram. So that's why it's smart to have multiple platforms that you have. And then Facebook, wow. Facebook, a big thing about Facebook as far as the cons of Facebook was mainly if you are starting from not having people, the growth of Facebook is hard, and most people grow on Facebook through paying for things, like paying for ads. Sorry, I'm gonna scroll here. I missed a question. Okay. I'm looking to start a blog, but I have no idea how to code and how to build a blog. So you don't need to know how to code to build a blog. There's multiple blog posts out there about how to start a blog. I feel like maybe I should make a list. Maybe I'll make a blog post about a list of blog post how to start blogs. But basically what you're gonna need is just you need your host and you need your platform. I use WordPress. I was on Squarespace prior to WordPress. I liked Squarespace, but then I found out all about SEO and all of the extra other things and then figured out that WordPress was the best. You can purchase a theme, and you can actually have WordPress make your whole theme for you. And yeah, just DM me after. I can send you a couple of resources to help you get your blog started, girl. Your emails are always so good. Thank you. If you're not already, I do have an email list. You can join my email list. I send out weekly tips on social media. Okay. I like stopped in the middle. Sorry. The Pinterest, the thing about Pinterest is you can never really tell you can't gauge how many people are going to see your content. It's kind of one of those things that content's constantly recycling. So that is one thing that was seen as far as Pinterest was go, positives and negatives. And then the YouTube, the one thing that was a higher complaint was the amount of time and the amount of videos that you have to do in the beginning. Yes. Oh, Chaz said that she created hers for free on Weebly.com, and it's super user friendly as far as blog post goes. Thank you. Let's see. Any suggestions? Do you know anyone who can design a blog for me? I will DM me after this, and I'll send you people that I know. I had mine done. I can't think of the name, but I'll find it for you. Let's see. I actually need to go like this. Okay, so Sarah says, I've been using WordPress also, and it's not as intuitive as I hoped. No, but the great thing is if you go to where it's like the question thing, you can put anything in there, and you can also use YouTube. What I do is I like type things exactly and then put it on YouTube, and like on YouTube, it'll tell me like how to do it. So I always look for a video rather than look for wording because it's just so much easier for me. Okay, so does anybody else have any more questions when it comes to what platforms to be using? Most of you are on all of these platforms plus TikTok, which I didn't mention, but I get on there a couple times. I did see like on TikTok, it was saying like you should post like 6 videos a day, but I feel like there's different type of videos. It's always like different types of content. Of course, you're welcome. So one thing that I wanted to talk about is allowing yourself to be a beginner. No one starts at the top by Wendy Flynn. And the thing you want to keep in mind is that no one's going to start at top, and we all don't know everything. Like even the people that you think that know everything, like we're all figuring it out one day at a time. And so just go ahead and get started. If you want to start a blog, if you want to start whatever, go ahead and get started, because waiting to start isn't going to get you there any faster. But yes, so I hope that y'all enjoyed that. I get on live every Wednesday I'm like looking at the time. I'm in Germany, so I get confused with the time a lot, but it's 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope this kind of gives you insights on social media platforms, and then that you can also expand. And don't forget to repurpose your content. Did anybody else have any more questions? But yeah, so, and if you look back, see, some people are asking about Instagram. If you look back, I do have videos on Instagram. So I hope that you'll have a lovely morning, and I'll see y'all next week.